It was Benjamin Franklin who told us nothing is certain in this world except death and taxes. But I don't think he meant death taxes.
The IRS defines the death tax as a tax on your right to transfer property at death.
Formerly called the estate tax, its purpose is to discourage family dynasties. At the time of death, anything a person owns over a certain amount is taxed at a 40% rate. This only affects a small percentage of Americans. However, some small family businesses are saying this tax is falling on the wrong people.
We're family owned, and I am the second generation, so I watched my dad try and maneuver the estate tax waters for a few years here, trying to figure out how to pass the company on to the next generation without losing some of it.
Karen Madonia, the CFO of Ilco, a family business her father grew from 7 employees to almost 100 today. She says the tax will hurt the future of her family's business.
It would impact us pretty severely. You know, a company like ours, we have most of our profits go right back into the company. We have to carry a hugely extensive inventory.
An unintended consequence of the estate tax is that family businesses that are often inventory rich but cash poor are forced to sell parts or the entire company just to pay taxes. Palmer Schonings is the founder of the Family Business Coalition. He is dedicated to protecting family businesses, and killing the death tax is at the top of his priority list.
What we really have is a shift of wealth out of the family business sector into the larger multinational corporations. It's the exact opposite of the intended effect of the tax.
Bruce Nivens, another family business owner, hopes to pass Grand Harvest Wines onto his 2 sons, who both work for him.
I started with nothing. I've worked very hard, and it's been a real thrilling experience for me to have 2 of my sons want to continue this legacy.
But the estate tax is a constant threat over his head.
We always have to worry about, well, what happens if I die prematurely? And as well as anyone can plan, these very complex tax laws are always very fluid, never changing.
Republican Representative Kevin Brady and Senator John Thune introduced bills in the House and the Senate to repeal the estate tax. They both have wide bipartisan support, but either have made it through their respective committees, a necessary procedure before being able to come to the floor for a vote. Brady claims that the death tax remains the {1} reason family-owned farms and businesses don't survive to the next generation.
It is by far the most unfair, un-American tax imaginable.
Proponents of the estate tax say that it is large inheritances that hinder entrepreneurship. Famous British politician Winston Churchill said that estate taxes were a certain corrective against the development of a race of idle rich. But that idea is cold comfort to small business owners who fear the effects of the death tax on their life's work.
The only alternative is you have to sell some inventory, you have to pull back on expansion plans, maybe you have to sell a branch or 2, or in the worst case, it could be that you have to sell the company.
The government's justification for the estate tax is that it raises revenues and reduces income inequality. However, small business owners who are already overwhelmed by the complexities in the tax code feel that it perpetuates rather than solves the issue of inequality. But one thing we can all agree on is that you can't take the money with you to the grave. In Washington, D.C., Perry Ann Boring, RT.